Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Mark of the Master of the Metal Plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some TNA. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Mark of the Master of the Metal Plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some Impact Wrestling today. And I'm talking Impact Wrestling 6/15/2017. It's a review of the final show that they're going to do over there in India. And it was a good show. They had a lot of good things, a couple of bad things. Wasn't too pleased with the finish of the last match, even though it was, I guess you would say, historic, if that makes any sense. But the truth of the matter is that, all in all, I guess you could say that the trip to India was a success, being that it was the very first ever professional wrestling major company, or any company actually, to produce a show out of India. Now the fact of the matter is, and by the way guys, once again I have to thank the steady hand of OneWrestling.com, Carl the cameraman. Thank you so much, buddy, for being here. And even Carl, I was talking to Carl off air a little bit about this show, and there are a couple of things that I'm going to go over, and it's going to seem like I'm being really negative, and I'm going to try to bring out most of the positives about this Impact Wrestling, if it's possible. But anyway, let's jump right into it. They opened up with a really good X Division video package explaining, the history of Sonjay Dutt being in the X Division, which he's been there for over 15 years. Well, he hasn't been wrestling consistently with TNA or Impact Wrestling for 15 years, but more or less he spent the bulk of his career, I would say maybe 90% of his career, over at Impact Wrestling. God, my freaking lips are chapped. Anyway, so Sony 6 is running this thing, and speaking of Sony 6, and as my cell phone apparently is going to die, so let me just plug that in. They had a battle royal, which was more like a Royal Rumble type gimmick. Every 90 seconds somebody would come in, and then basically the last two people, it would end in a pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification, so on and so forth. And we started the show off with, and we started the match off with Matt Sydal and Suicide, which I really do hope, guys, that eventually Matt Sydal wins that X Division title. He came in really hot, and the fact that they haven't, I know that they're switching programs over right now. They have Sonjay Dutt, wrestling against Loki in India because he's Indian. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter, and it was so predictable that this was one of the more predictable Impact Wrestlings in quite some time. But we have Suicide again, starting off with Matt Sidell, and I noticed something. The trophy looked like a little miniature World Cup trophy, like it was tiny. It was. I have a karate trophy sitting in my living room that's like 6 feet tall. I kid you not. Jesus, I have boxing trophies, much bigger. Got a couple of baseball participation trophies that kind of much bigger than what he had. But it is what it is. I would have maybe given him something more, like a silver cup, something cool, like a gold statue or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. But this is what we do. We nitpick here in the IWC. Again, guys, give me a follow on Twitter. You have all my information right down below at Big Ray's Show on all social medias, and of course us here at One Wrestling. So now there were a lot of people that came in the ring, so I can give you more or less I guess I'll break down the what's the word, Carl? What am I looking for here? Because I'm having a freaking brain fart this morning. It's been a long day. Yes, the order. I'll give you the order of the people that come in. Thank you. All right, we'll see. All right, so Davey Richards we have comes in next. Davey Richards takes control, and so as soon as he gets in, he does a nice, sweet jumping Hurricane Rana. And then finally, Davey is basically standing tall above the other two when KM comes in. Now, he's the biggest guy in the match so far. He comes in, and him and Davey Richards decide to become a team and start working against the Babyfaces. And then the next person out is Swoggle. I have a problem with this, and I'm going to get into that a little more in the Impact Attack of a podcast that I'm going to be doing later today. By the way, guys, the Impact Attack podcast at Hacker Hameen, and you can find that anywhere. You just search Hacker Hameen, Podbean, or iTunes, anywhere you listen to the audio podcast. But I'm going to really get into why I'm not a big fan of this. we have Swoggle who comes out. Swoggle is, you know, he's embroidered in a feud with Rockstar Spud, which is funny, which is cool. I love what they've been doing here, but again, I know they're trying to get the, you know what, I guess they're trying to get the talent on screen to keep the story running. That's I guess what you would call good booking, to put your talent over. But the fact is that, I don't know, this was I don't know, it's a comedy bit. You know, Swoggle comes in, he's doing all these little chops, and they're not affecting. I guess, you know what, maybe I'm nitpicking. I'm in a bad mood. I gotta be honest, I'm in a horrible mood today. Not very happy. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's been a sucky week. But it is neither here nor there, guys. It is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta, like my father once said, suck it up and press on. So yeah, Swoggle comes in, he starts throwing these silly little chops, and I don't know, man. I just had a problem with it. But anyway, during all this craziness, nobody's been eliminated at this point in juncture. We have Eddie Edwards who comes into the ring, and don't forget, yes, Eddie Edwards has a blood feud with Davey Richards. So this is awesome. Eddie Edwards quickly comes in, and he goes right for Davey immediately, punching Davey, attacking Davey. They continue to brawl, but basically they both eliminated each other, so they're out of the match, but they continue to fight up the ramp. And it's cool because they get to touch each other a little bit. That sounds disgusting. I mean, depending on you know what you're into, baby. But anyway, if you know what I mean, they get to touch each other a little bit. Oh, God, I said it again. You know what I mean? Anyway, they get to wrestle each other, limitedly. I'm gonna be going to you a lot, buddy. It's one of those days. I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm a coffee guy, like they say in New York, coffee. Anyway, we have Rockstar Spud. I didn't even mention this. Who actually comes in, and he actually goes after Swoggle. Oh, by the way, what I was talking about, and again, I'm all over the place with the whole fact that I like Davey Richards not really having too much to do with Eddie Edwards in the match, because this is a blood feud again. They're going to carry this on into the States, and eventually what's going to happen is they're going to have probably a final cage match or whatever. I'm hoping to end all be all Full Metal Mayhem or whatever the hell they're going to do. I think that'll be pretty cool. So we got Rockstar Spud who comes in. He goes immediately for Swoggle. He gets but he gets kicked by Sidell. Then Swoggle goes in to basically help Matt Sidell, and they start double teaming him. You have Spud who actually gets control of Swoggle, and he gets him in the corner. He's like, you know, I never meant to pull your pants down. Never meant to pull your pants down. Never said that to anyone. Anyway, so now finally, the biggest man of the evening, Kongo Kong, he comes in next, and Kongo Kong immediately eliminates Matt Sidell, immediately eliminates Rockstar Spud, and then we have, I guess you could say Moose. Yeah, well, Moose is probably the second biggest. Well, Cam's pretty big son of a gun. But anyway, Moose comes in, and he's out next. The only problem is Swoggle was eliminated by Rockstar Spud, and by pulling, he pulled him down off the apron while what was it? What's his name? Kongo Kong tried to eliminate him. Anyway, all this is going on, and guess what? You got Moose against two people. And by the way, this is a long freaking match. Was it like 10 segments? Like 18 commercial breaks during this freaking match. Anyway, basically, both KM and Kongo, you know, Moose got up on him. Moose was able to get a little offensive off. But listen, these two big monsters. I don't care how big and tough you are. You got a big guy like Kongo Kong, a big guy like KM beating the living crap out of you. You're going to be gone. And that's what basically happens. Eventually, Moose is eliminated. So anyway, we go to a commercial break. We come back, and let me see what's going on here. Oh, you know what? No, he wasn't the last man. No, all right. So the main man here, the guy who everybody came to see, Mahabali Sheera, he comes out. And they show his dad at ringside, which I thought was pretty cool. His dad, was it me? His dad looking a little deer in the headlights. A little deer in the headlights. He warmed up as the time went on. You know, I mentioned his dad looks like an old version of Snoop Dogg. You know, with the cane and the whole ring gimmick and everything, and just guy looked awesome. His brother is jacked. He has two brothers there. One of them is jacked, and I won't be surprised if you don't see Mahabali Sheera's brother coming to wrestle soon. I don't know what the history is there, guys. If you know, leave your comments below. OneWrestling.com, YouTube/OneWrestling video. But yeah, man, Mahabali Sheera comes up, and the fans are going nuts. The fans are hot for Mahabali Sheera. They are going crazy. Shera basically eliminates Kongo Kong, eliminating him by pulling the top rope as Kongo Kong is running. It's the old adage, you know, you can't really throw the big man out. The big man eliminates himself, and that's happened so many times in the land, in the world, in the universe of professional wrestling. Mahabali Sheera basically it's him and KM, which I think we're cool. I mean, KM, listen, I love KM. I would love to know what you guys think. KM, I want to see him on screen more. Am I a fan of the whole Back to the Future, hello McFly, you call me a liar, make it like a tree and get out of here gimmick? Not necessarily, but guess what? He pulls it off, and he's on TV every single freaking week. I feel like I'm warming up now, Carl. I feel a little better. I feel like I'm moving along. Yeah, I mean, what does my bowels have to do with anything? Anyway, it doesn't make it. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Anyway, so anyway, as we move along, anyway. So basically, these two behemoths are going at it, and finally, Mahabali Sheera is able to hit the sky high for the 1-2-3, and he wins the Sony 6 Invitational Championship Trophy Cup thing with the globe on top. Anyway, they have some gentlemen. They have Bruce Pritchard, Scott D'Amore, and NP Singh. I guess he's the head of Sony 6 or whatever. And he comes out and he presents the trophy to Mahabali Sheera. Now, again, over dissecting this match, I know why they put Mahabali Sheera over. Mahabali Sheera's gotten a hell of a lot better. Is it me or the guy is still green in the ring? There were a couple of instances where I seen him throw a clothesline. It looked awkward. Some timing issues. Even his finisher, well, I can't blame it because, Cam is a big dude to pick up and drop like that. He looks green still. And when I say green, to people that don't know what I'm talking about, he still looks like a rookie. He still looks like he's learning, which is fine. He's a young guy. He's a big dude, man. I'm glad they let him grow out the beard and everything like that. Let his hair grow out a little longer. Kind of gives him a mean scowl look. He has the potential. Problem is, he's very soft-spoken, and he has an issue talking on the mic in English. I don't know what his Punjabi is, but maybe it's awesome. Maybe he's one of the best talkers in the business, in the world. But I won't know that. They're going to have to figure out a mouthpiece for this guy. This guy should turn heel again. I like him better as a heel. He's a monster heel. And give him a manager. Give him a talking piece. Give him somebody to talk for him. They can even start, I don't know, man. Maybe they can get an Indian manager. Hey, what's the guy that used to manage the Great Khali doing? That dude would be an awesome manager for him. I can't even remember his name off the top of my mind. It is what it is. What do you guys think? They do a little bit with JB and Josh Mathews, and they're setting up the show. They move on, and they mentioned that D'Angelo Williams will be participating at Slammiversary. I could care absolutely less about D'Angelo Williams. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you're not a wrestler, I don't care. Unless you're somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's viable, Conor McGregor, anybody else. Whatever. Anyway, this is what it is. So we move on, and we have they continue, and they have the Joseph Park training video, and they go to they're supposed to go to a Kung Fu dojo, but they end up going to a Chinese restaurant. Okay, so we move on, and we have LAX and their clubhouse, and they are serious, like a late period, as I said before. Kongo says they didn't go to India because of their priors. Hilarious. I thought it was really well done. I said they're going to they're going to go to some smaller promotions and basically not only take the tag team titles from these smaller promotions. I guess they're taking a little bit off of a very famous tag team that used to kind of delete all the other tag teams in the minor leagues or the indies. I can't remember that tag team, but I know they were probably one of the greatest tag teams in all space and time. Anyway, I guess we're gonna check that out next week. Yeah, man. Hey, by the way, I don't know if I told you guys. I probably did, but Sean Hernandez, formerly of LAX, is he gonna be part of LAX again? Supermax is going to be on this week's Impact Attack. So if you guys, listen, if you don't have any time for, if you're traveling to work, if you're driving, plug in the podcast, 2 hours long, every freaking week. We're going to break down Money in the Bank. It's going to be awesome. Also, we're going to be breaking down Money in the Bank here at OneWrestling.com. I suggest you come here first, because it's going to be an awesome video review, and maybe we get an appearance by Bill after. Anyway, so we have a very hilarious EC3 segment. Or should I say EC3? Dude, I love this guy. This guy is my fave. Back in the day, the cell phones, they used to have like a top 5 fave gimmick. There used to be this thing called MySpace, which I'm sure you guys have no idea, if you're under 20, what the hell I'm talking about. It's basically the precipice of the beginning of the genesis of Facebook. And they used to have like your top 5 friends, or your girlfriend would have to be number 1, unless it's your mom. But yeah. So yeah, man, he's accompanied by another dude, and the guy basically ends up being like, he's an interpreter, a translator. EC3 comes out. He says that his great-grandfather was born. Oh, by the way, his trouble was a ding, 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 ding. Anyway, I sound like an idiot tonight. It is what it is. I'm a little hungry, Carl. Is there any way you could go downstairs to Subway and get a sandwich? Stupid foot-long jokes. Anyway, a 6-inch is fine. I'm sure your mother would appreciate that. Anyway. He says that so it's basically a sitar version of the EC3 gimmick, which is awesome, the EC3 theme. And he says that his great-grandfather was born in India, so on and so forth. He moves on to say that he starts off putting over India, but then eventually he starts calling it a hellhole, saying that he's there not to create history but to destroy history. And he starts really just really putting down the fans there. And eventually what happens is the translator, well, he doesn't really feel like translating all the negativity to the crowd over there in India and Mumbai, India. And well, EC3 he gets pissed and he knocks this guy down. He kicks him in the stomach, knocks him down. By the way, the guy took an excellent bump. Watch it. Probably a wrestler. I'm just assuming, but I can just tell the way the guy took the bump. Anyway, he looked like he's taken a couple of bumps before. He's a big guy too. But EC3 pulls the belt off of his waist and he lit into this kid. EC3, Ethan, here's the deal. You better hope nobody gets the belt from you and starts doing that to you. I mean, he was whipping this guy across the face, across the nose, maybe hit him in the Johnson a couple of times, I don't know, but he really beat this guy down with that leather strap. And then finally you hear, "Sorry about your damn luck." James Storm comes out, grabs the belt from Carter, and Carter runs for a cover. Now we move on, they show a video package earlier with they were talking about this all day, like the catering thing with Swoggle and Spud, and Spud is going back and forth, and Spud is trying to tell him, "Look, man, I never meant to pull out on your pants, right?" And anyway, Swoggle gets up on the table, walks across, and takes Spud's face and puts it into Spud's food. And then they have the 2 Tiger brothers, the mask guys. I don't know who the hell those guys are, but anyway, they're there and they're eating. I don't know. They have no holes for the mask, to eat. So maybe they do the whole lifting, the Spider-Man gimmick when he's making out with that chick. It was so hot. Anyway. In the rain, I saw you and him kissing in the rain. Anyway, so my God, I'm all over the place today. So yeah, Spud chases him out of the catering thing, and it is what it is. They're gonna move on. So Josh Mathews comes down to the ring. Finally, he's in ring gear, wearing his goat shirt. It's kind of like a bull with an American flag on it, USA. They're in India. They're the bad guys now because they're American, I guess. I don't know, whatever. And he says that Scott Steiner and he will eviscerate JB and Joseph Park at Slammiversary, and he's going to do a whole sparring session, and he handpicked his opponent. And this guy was apparently, let me just read this down. He's a 2008 Indian team. He's a Bollywood star. He's a 2008 alternate or Olympic wrestler. The guy also was one of the 2012. He was a cricket champion. Anyway, this freaking guy comes out looking like the Kool-Aid Man. Same physique. Exactly. In a singlet. A doublet? Singlet. Anyway. Guy comes down looking horrible. We have Josh Mathews versus Sandeep. Guy doesn't even get a last name. Mathews comes in, lands a sweet arm drag. So anyway, he takes advantage early, but then Sandeep with some deep arm drags, versions of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and then a blazing drop kick. Kind of look like Jerry Blackwell. You don't know who I'm talking about? Google it. So yeah, he's getting upper hand, and then finally, Josh Mathews does the whole test of strength gimmick. Kicks him in the yam bag, kicks him in the balls, kicks him in the camel toe, whatever you want to call it, kicks him in the nuts, right in front of the referee. Is that not a disqualification? Is it because it's an exhibition that it's not? I don't know. Lost me there, but apparently it was not. And then Josh Mathews, for his credit, goes to the top and hits one of the sweetest swanton bombs, landing hair gel first onto Sandeep, and he proceeds to get on top of him and give him the old Steiner recliner. Makes Sandeep tap out. It just didn't look good. It is what it is. Anyway, he didn't want to let go of the whole gimmick, and Mahabali Sheera comes out, and you know, Josh Mathews is begging and pleading for his life, but then finally, for some reason, we have Bobby Lashley who comes out, takes out Mahabali Sheera, and then El Patron, Alberto Del Rio. You know, when I talk about him, I have to talk like this. He comes to the ring and he makes the save. But the stupid thing is that he comes to the ring with that stupid Global Force Championship. And the funny thing is, he couldn't even take the belt off of his waist. I hate that freaking belt. The belt is nice looking. The fact that he's coming out with it, is what it is, man. Can't do nothing about it. I'm very negative today, right? Right? I'm Carl. Very negative. Just not feeling it today. It is what it is. I mean, yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. So we go back to the training video, and we have Joseph Park playing with action figures, Big Papa Pump action figures, and they start looking at some tape of Scott Steiner and cutting some of his best YouTube memes. But then they start getting into the actual matches, and the guy is a brick house, if you know what I mean. And they get scared. They finally get a phone call, video phone call, and it's Scott Steiner. And of course, Josh Mathews gave him the number. And Josh Mathews, I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't like fat asses. I'm gonna kick your ass. They booty daddy. I mean, this guy must have said the word ass more than the Bible. And yeah, man, it was just it was what it was. And Scott Steiner scaring the living hell out of these guys. I'm sure they're going to need some brand new shorts, or maybe hit the laundry soon, if you know what I mean. Trevor Lee versus Braxton Sutter, which was a relatively quick match. We have Lee and Sutter. It's a shame what's happened to Trevor Lee. That's his brother, Travis. Trevor Lee, this guy was just the freaking bee's knees over there in the X Division. This guy's a monster, man. I mean, this kid, the Carolina Caveman, is one of my very favorites, man. But nope, he did the job. Braxton Sutter hitting that swinging neck breaker for the 1-2-3. Pretty much clean win for him. And of course, he has the lovely Allie in the corner. Well, speaking of Allie, Sienna Laurel van Ness come out, or Laurel van Ness comes out, and Sienna wants to know if Allie is, is she really so innocent? Anyway, I don't know what the hell she's kind of, alluding to, but she challenges Allie to a match next week. So it's going to be Sienna and Allie versus, Sienna and LVN, or Laurel van Ness, versus Allie and Rosemary. Why do I feel something is going to happen eventually? Like Rosemary's luring Allie in for something. Maybe. And, Josh Mathews slips in the fact that there's going to be that match next week. We have Eli Drake, dummy. Yeah. It's the Eli Drake, Moose, and Chris Adonis, or Christopher, because he's going by his full Christian name, Christopher Adonis segment. Moose comes to the ring with the Grand Championship, so on and so forth. We have Drake who comes out. Eli Drake, not Drake, the singer. Not. He used to call me on the cell phone. Anyway, that's the only song I really give a damn about that Drake has ever done in my life. So Drake says since he's been on Impact, he's been fed crap. feces, I guess. Nothing has changed with the new regime, so on and so forth. But Moose is in the ring, and he doesn't deserve to be the champion. I gotta be honest with you guys. I agree. I actually wholeheartedly agree with Eli Drake, dummy. I thought he won that match for the Grand Championship last week, but neither here nor there. Does not get the he didn't get put over. Didn't get the championship anyway. At one point in the junction, they're going back and forth, and you know, again, Drake is accusing Moose of being Pritchard's boy and having Pritchard in his pocket, which is pretty. He's gotta have big pockets. Pritchard's a big boy. He said he's gonna take both of them on at Slammiversary. We got Christopher Adonis and Eli Drake, who gets in the ring and proceeds to beat the hell out of Moose. Well, when that's happened, you know, Moose actually turns the table and tosses Adonis outside the ring. I mean, tosses Drake outside the ring, and Adonis go. You know, next week they're gonna have a tag team match, and I'm gonna implore you guys, don't check out the spoilers. I haven't yet, so I have no idea who the tag team partner is gonna be. I hope they don't do a whole 2-on-1 gimmick at Slammiversary. Maybe I'm reading into this wrong. Moose is awesome, but Eli Drake is just the freaking best. And if it takes Eli Drake and Chris Adonis, or Christopher Adonis, to go over Moose, I just not a big fan of it. I'm really hoping that it's going to be Moose versus Eli Drake for the Grand Championship at Slammiversary, and Eli Drake, dummy, yeah. I hope he goes over, big time, and I hope he becomes a champion. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. Again, Slammiversary. Hopefully, I can get to review it here at OneWrestling.com. Excuse me, YouTube.com/OneWrestlingVideo. And I already went down the whole Joseph Park stuff, and with Scott Steiner, I already went through that. So we're gonna go into the main event of the evening. Did you hear that? It is Sonjay Dutt versus Loki for the X Division Championship. I got to tell you something. I'm not going to break down everything that basically happens in this match. I'll give you the finish, and I'm going to tell you what happens in this match. It was a solid match. Sonjay Dutt, at the end of the match, he delivered a kick to the head, then a superplex. After some more back and forth, we have Dutt, who hits a tornado DDT, and then hits a flying body press off the top rope. Just a splash, not a frog splash, for the 1-2-3. And he is your new X Division champion. Sonjay Dutt has been going for this title for 15 years. And I just thought the storytelling could have been a lot better in this match. What am I talking about? I don't know. I mean, he had the whole eye patch gimmick, and that was pulled off. And of course, you know, Loki got a legit. They were both legit injured in the eye. It's so funny how things kind of work themselves out, and sometimes these things right themselves. But the fact is that I didn't feel the struggle during this match. What am I talking about? I didn't feel the passion behind this win. I know Sonjay Dutt, you know, everybody was celebrating with Sonjay, so on and so forth, after he won, and I'm happy. I mean, this guy should have been X Division champion multiple times. But the fact of the matter is that there was not like something big that happened. This should have been a bigger match. Does that make sense to you guys? Am I just crazy? There wasn't anything that stuck out to me. That's why I'm not really breaking this match. So I mean, what happened? I mean, other than a big backdrop onto some steel steps, I mean, this wasn't. It would have meant more to me if Sonjay Dutt would have won the X Division title in an Ultimate X match with a cage. That would have been amazing. If you guys, I want you guys to go back, man, and check out the old Asylum days. Just Google or YouTube Elix Skipper Top of the Cage, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, these were some of the greatest matches. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. I mean, I can go on and on with some of the greatest, Kid Cash, some of the greatest X Division competitors in the history of this business. But this match just didn't have it for me, and it was too clean a finish. Does that make sense? Something didn't pop for me, and I gotta be honest, I got left wanting more from this win. It didn't feel satisfying. You know, when you're really hungry and you really crave like a pizza, right? I'll use pizza because everybody pretty much likes pizza, and you finally get that perfect, delicious pizza. And no matter how bad pizza is, it's always good. And this is the way I look at wrestling. No matter how bad wrestling is, for me, it's always good. I always enjoy some aspect. If it's crappy wrestling, I enjoy it because it's hilarious and it's crappy. This didn't have it for me, guys. You know, maybe it's just me again nitpicking. Maybe being mean is rubbing off on me, infidels. And I'm a little more negative and nitpicky, but I want you guys to leave your comments below. I want to have an open discussion here, if possible, guys. And gals, and please leave your comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Tell me what you guys think. My thought process behind this. It just felt flat, the win. And again, I don't remember Sonjay Dutt's being a freaking splash off the top rope. It was a weak version of Jimmy Snuka's splash. All due respect to Sonjay, this guy, I remember seeing him do a backflip into the freaking double stomp of doom, or whatever the hell he used to call it. Loki's gimmick, but he did a backflip and did that. Neither here nor there, guys. Look, Slammiversary is right around the corner, and they're going to be really building towards a huge... I think it's going to be a good Slammiversary, man. I think there's going to be it's a really top-notch Slammiversary. I think the match is going to be fantastic. A lot of change, guys. I'm hearing the belts are going to be consolidated. There will be no more Global Force Wrestling Championship belts, even though Dixie Carter Jr. over there, Jeff Jarrett's wife, she said that they were supposed to be gone quite some time ago, but neither here nor there. Mrs. Jarrett, you know, please. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Listen, guys, this was a decent show. It was pretty good, but again, I pointed out a lot of negative. There was a lot of talking, and I'm not a big fan of that. I like to see a lot of action. But again, this was storytelling, building towards Slammiversary. I just thought they would have more wrestling over in India. And I know that they recorded probably both matches, I mean both shows back to back, because it was like all Indian guys and the one Caucasian guy was sitting in the same damn place wearing the same damn t-shirt right there. There were a lot of very good looking Indian people, by the way. Not to, you know, I mean the women, just beautiful skin, just looking almost like they were actors. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Impact Report for OneWrestling.com. Again, guys, you can give us a follow here at One Wrestling on Twitter, at One Wrestling. Give me a follow at Big Ray's Show. Give the legendary Bill Apter a follow at Apter One Wrestling. Guys, go over to Facebook. Find us at One Wrestling. Find me at Big Ray's. Well, actually, on Facebook, I'm at Raymond Big Ray Hernandez. So give me a follow, man. You can find me on Facebook, in Snapchat. I'm at Big Ray's Show. The whole Big Slam Nation team, not team, there's no such word as that. Maybe there is in India. I'm not really sure. I don't speak that language. Yo hablo español. Serious like a late period, Holmes. Anyway, so yeah, man, guys, you know, listen, I always say this. I would do this for a living, but if I couldn't, I'd do it anyway. Why? Well, because I love talking wrestling. And I love meeting up with you guys. Listen, not in the best of moods, but it is what it is, guys. That's why, you know, I do this. This is my therapy. This is what makes me feel good. I love wrestling. And it makes me smile. I had two really cool people pass away within a week's period. One person was her name was Molly. She was like the mother of my neighborhood, and I grew up in this neighborhood here on the Lower East Side. And she was a great person and a great mom, Molly. And then her son Jesse, who I grew up with, a little older than me, but we went to school together. A beast of a man, but an awesome heart, man. Just like a really cool guy. That was her son. And he just passed away of a broken heart only a few days after his mom lost her life. It's hitting me hard because I grew up with these people, and they're good friends of mine, and they will always be good friends of mine. So I just wanted to dedicate this this to my friends Molly and Jesse, who, he was a mama's boy, as big as a killer as he was. Not a legit killer, but I'm saying the guy was a beast, man. I mean, I've seen him take people and I just send love out to the Burgos family, and my condolences to you guys. I love you, Molly. Man, this neighborhood will miss you, and Jesse just as much. So anyway, without getting emotional, sometimes you gotta man up. And the words of, you know what? In the words of Bill Schuyler, see you down the road, guys. Love you, and rest in peace, Molly, and your boy Jesse. Later, guys. Love you.